No, you don't.
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies when we run this town. With your host T. Will, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. Every frame we capture is the real deal. Talking premieres, where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine behind the...
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, movie fans. Welcome, ATL movies fans, sports fans. Tonight, you guys are in for a treat. I have two best friends from high school that are near and dear to my heart. I love these gentlemen. This is one of the triumvirate, one of the trio. This is Mr. Kip Epps. I've known this guy since I was 12 years old.
Yep.
We graduated together from Rita in high school. We went to prom with our dates.
Yeah, we went together, but
not together, but not in that way, right? But I love this guy, one of my very best friends in the world. He got me into comics. We watched all sort of movies since the time we were 12. And tonight we are looking at Mo Better Blues. Kip, I cannot wait. Welcome, brother. How are you doing tonight? So good to see you, and this is going to be so much fun.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the warm welcome. I see your open to the show. I was blown away. I was like, this got some production value. Like this is like got songs and the creep up dissolve. I was like, wow. I'm kind of. That's some big league stuff there. I feel honored.
Kip's being modest. So Kip has produced several shows in Hollywood. Okay, so this man is, I'm nothing compared to Mr. Kip Epps here. He's being modest.
I don't have an open with theme music, so
he's being modest.
I'm just saying.
He's produced several shows that you probably know and have watched. So we are blessed and lucky to have him. Kip, we're talking about Spike Lee's Mo Better Blues tonight. I remember when this movie came out. I remember you were the first person to tell me about it. Mm-hmm. I remember the conversation that we had about it. Mm-hmm. And I asked you what it was about, and you were like, it is about obsessions. And I remember watching it. And I saw, a little of what you were talking about in the obsessions. But what's interesting, and you and I talked about this off camera, is that now that we're older and we're both in our 50s, we saw this as teenagers, as kids, basically. We look at it very differently, right? Look at it totally different. And that, to me, that's the fun part of this.
I think that's also part of what shows that it's a really layered, well done movie. That it's got depth of feeling, depth of character. I mean, some of the acting, some of the people. It really holds up, and I think that's the line. Does it hold up or not?
Yeah, it stands the test of time. No doubt about it. So. The release date for this movie was August 3rd, 1990. Woo! That's going back some years, brother. I think your Pontiac had just died, and you were driving the 626, right? Was that 626?
626 died a little bit after we were at a party late at night, if you recall.
I thought that was the Pontiac that died. That was 626
because it was a bunch of us in there.
It was a Jack and Jill party, right?
Right. Right.
And we came back and it was cold.
Right.
And we had to call your dad and he was pissed.
Wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was
Oh,
great.
he was
It was
pissed.
great for me. I tell you.
Oh my God. Wait, it died on Wesley Chapel, right?
It did go,
On the Wesley
but
Chapel
luckily,
exit?
we were on 20,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
died on the on ramp. It got
Yeah.
us as far as it could. So,
Oh my God. I remember that, bro. I remember that. All
mhm.
right. So let's get into it, Kip. Again, this movie is about obsessions, but it's about so much more. There's so much going on in this movie.
Mhm.
When I went back and watched it. So Bleak Gillian, played by Denzel Washington, is the main character, the protagonist, if you will, a jazz trumpeter who's juggling two women, and ego and art or his music. When his manager's gambling debt, and Giant is his manager, who was his best friend from way back when, since they were in the third grade. Uh, yeah, his gambling debts turn violent because he owes money to loan sharks, and it finally gets his comeuppance. Bleak's career is cut short. In this process, he learns humility through family, teaching his son the trumpet and a lot of other stuff. We're gonna go get so much more granular into this, but you know, this was just such a great story because it ends up not being about what you think it's about in the opening credits when you start watching it.
Right, right. I
Uh,
think one of the things that, like, right off the bat, that I didn't, I wasn't sophisticated enough to pick up on when I first started watching was the colors, was
mhm,
the beautiful browns and golds and reds, and the loving way that it was shot, the way our skin was treated, the way the women were shot, the
mhm,
way that the clothes were shot. I
mhm.
think that the colors that just brought out the richness in these browns and golds in their skin. It was really
And
amazing.
New York in the fall, specifically in the beginning shots and in the end shots with the
Hmm.
leads,
Hmm.
really,
But I
really
think that also,
bring it in.
kind of fit in to the golds and the skin and the green and
Yes,
in
yes,
the apartments, and the way that gave like just a Afrocentric view, which really was, it was beautiful to see, and it was like a
yes,
master class in that, in coloring and lighting and the cinematography. I thought it was great.
yes. Let's talk about his mom. So in the opening scene, she's like, "No, you need to play your trumpet and tell your hoodlum friends,
Hmm.
tell that riffraff," as
Hmm.
my dad used to say. Don't
Hmm.
don't associate with riffraff, Kip.
Right, right,
Don't
right,
do that.
right, right.
Tell that riffraff you gotta study, okay?
Right, right.
You gotta study. Oh
Well,
my
I,
goodness.
I think that she represented the time, really.
Of
So
course,
she
of course.
represented a different era, but it's all secular.
Mhm,
It's all the same. You end up in the same place. You think that the world is gonna revolve around you when you realize that you're just a part of it. You're a
A
part of the whole thing.
cog,
I
a
think
cog in the wheel.
a
Yeah.
cog in the wheel. And I think that this movie really did a good job of putting you in a time and a place,
Mhm. Yeah. I
because Mhm.
no, agreed. I think that Bleak's obsession is born of his mother's compulsion
Mhm.
with him practicing
Mhm.
over and over again. And one of the things we'll do, Kip, is look, I sent you a document. We're gonna jump all around, all up
Mhm.
and through that.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and it was just really just a guidepost. But what's interesting is we see in this first scene that she's like, "No, you need to finish. You need to do this." And the dad is like, "I'm just trying to watch the game. Come
Right.
on,
Right.
Bleak.
Right.
I just, he's almost, man. I just need you to finish. Come on,
Mhm.
man. I
Mhm.
just need you to, I'm trying to watch the game, right? But what's
Mhm.
interesting is that and again, this is only from what we can see, but what we can infer is that she is always like this.
Right.
But in this is born Bleak's rigorous, rigorous
Mhm.
code that nothing matters but the music. And I'll tell you, we see. Go ahead.
She wanted him to be great, and
She
to
did.
be great, you got
She
to be
did.
disciplined.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
And to learn to be disciplined, you got to sit there and shoot that free throw 100 times,
over and over again,
over and over again, until you get it. And he was able to glom onto that. I mean, I think that you could take that same rigor and be a stockbroker. Take that same and do whatever. So I think this movie,
right.
It transfers, because if you want to be really good at something, if you want to do it well, then that's what it takes. It takes that.
It takes about
repetition.
10,000 hours, right?
And it also takes that discipline to know that, I know you want to play baseball. I know you want to do this. I know you want to do that. But the sacrifices he's had to make to get to where he is.
Agreed. But my question is, when is enough is enough? And I'm asking that because in the scene where Giant is finally caught by the long sharks, and they're getting ready to, they broke his fingers the first time, but they're getting ready to administer some justice. And they carry him out in front of the crowd, and he screams, "Bleak!" 90% of other people would have run off that stage. Bleak finishes the performance. Why? Because that's how he's been trained. Because nothing else matters but the music.
Right.
Because his obsession rises to that level that I'm going to finish my set first, right?
He found out that he found out that his girlfriend is with this other guy,
right?
The girl he was with,
right?
All of that emotion, he has been trained to funnel it through the music, and he probably gave his last performance was probably the best performance of his life.
Oh, it was a great performance.
All of his training, all of that emotion, all of the things that had been welling up inside him were able to be expressed through the music, and then he was able to go and carry on with the rest of his life. But yeah, that's how he was trained. That's how he became as good as he is.
That's a good point. But let me ask you this, right? And maybe I'm wrong, but I've watched this 2 times. I don't recall seeing his mom in any other scenes but the first ones.
I don't recall seeing any other women with speaking roles other than Clark and Jolie. Who else? What other women were featured other than the girlfriend, the French girlfriend?
Yeah,
she was kind of a side character.
Yeah,
there were no other women in this movie because that's not what it was about.
Yeah, but he gets beat half to hell, right? He's up in the hospital. We don't see his mom. We don't see his mom at the wedding.
We don't know that she's there. They played catch by the bridge by themselves.
They did.
He's got to get home, so he's not safe. So we don't know what happened.
That's what I was wondering.
It's a story about men. It's a story about fathers and sons. Which, wow, when's the last time you saw that?
When's the last time you saw a father and son throwing a baseball, playing?
Well, that's why
you and I.
Okay, now see this is my problem with the podcast. I can't say what I want to say because what I want to say is that's why there's no more black guys in baseball.
Right.
No fathers just throw balls.
Right.
I can't say that.
Right. No, you can't say that.
I can't. I'm telling you what I can't say.
Right.
I can't say that. But what a beautiful thing,
Just that beautiful
playing catch with your dad up to that age.
Yeah.
Like that is a rite of passage. And there are a lot of rites of passages that he kind of went through because I don't know if I know you pretty well. So allegedly, if you're dating 2 girls, something is gonna happen. Allegedly, brother. Allegedly. I didn't but if you're dating 2 girls, it's going to come to a head.
Absolutely.
If you live in that life, it's going to come to light at some point.
Absolutely.
And it's a rite of passage to realize, okay, well, maybe dating 2 girls isn't the right thing.
Right.
Maybe dating 2 girls is, maybe I need to grow up and pick one.
Pick a side, right.
And pick a side because it's never going to work. And I think that there was one rite of passage after another. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it may have gotten accelerated by him getting his lip split, but that's the wheel. That's the ride that we're all on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what I got out of it more than I got out of it, when I was, a freshman in college.
18, still on the wheel yourself.
Right. And on a different part.
Mm-hmm.
And as the kids say, life just keeps lifing.
Life be lifing, man. Yeah,
Right.
no doubt about it.
Right.
No doubt about it. So look, you brought up Clark, or actually I brought up Clark and Indigo.
Mm-hmm.
So let's well, we got a little ways to get to it, but
Mm-hmm.
Spike Lee paints a portrait of an ego and artistry with color and music, like you said.
Hmm.
This is less political, obviously, than Do the Right Thing, which was
Mm-hmm.
so political.
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm X. It's more introspective than his previous work. And to your point, the music and visuals mimic the rhythm of jazz and improvisation, especially in the club, especially the shots and the stills, and the colors that Giant wears.
And the paintings, the
Yeah,
paintings on the wall, and the
yeah,
art, and it's really, really well done. And like Roby Reed, like some of the people that were in charge of wardrobe and casting and art direction are unbelievable. Like this was really something. Like, you got to think, Samuel L. Jackson, Bill Nunn, Giancarlo Esposito. These guys were in one scene. Denzel Washington. All of these guys were together acting
Wesley
at the same
Snipes.
time.
Yeah.
When will we ever see that again?
Never. And I was thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, we just didn't know how lucky we were. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's talk about character arcs. So Bleak goes from self-absorbed artist to grounded father, Giant from reckless to reform. Now, I do have a doubt about reform, because in the wedding scene, right, when Indigo and Bleak get married, Giant's hand is broken again. And it's a year later.
But
So
here's the thing. We know those people.
Of course.
We know
it's
those
a
people.
disease, bro. It's hard habit to break.
And unlike women, like, we can be friends with the guy and know that he's a dirtbag. It's like, oh, that's Wendell. He's a dirtbag. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. And your lady says, well, why would you hang around that guy? That's my boy. I just he's just a dirtbag. I'm okay with that. So it just represents, and as you live your life, you realize these are very these are things that happen. These are realistic things. These are humanistic things.
Yeah.
And it's not about Brooklyn. It's not about black or white. These things exist, and everybody's kind of on that same wheel, on that same arc.
Yeah.
But just reformed.
No, he fell off the wagon. And you know what's funny? I didn't notice that the first time I saw it, Kip. I did not notice that. So when I went back and I watched it, because honestly, I saw it looking for Bleak's mom, because I'm like, I didn't see her at the hospital. We don't see her at the wedding. We don't see her playing with the baby. We don't like, where is she? So I'm looking, and as I'm looking, I see Giant with it, and I'm like, wait, his hand was broken 3-4 years ago. Let me look at this again. And I'm like, okay, so what he's saying is Giant, to this point, never got better. He's still dealing with the same issues. So I get it. Shadow is kind of, I don't want to call him an antagonist, but he does have a bit of a rivalry with Bleak.
Right.
And where Bleak is, I don't want to call him a conformist, but he's very structured,
very rigid, right?
Very structured, right? Shadow is the opposite. Shadow is like, I'm gonna play solos till they tell me to stop. I'm gonna give the people what they want. And there's this constant conflict with them. And it's interesting when they have this conversation, when they're drinking one night, and Bleak says to him, if we had to depend on our people, you know what I mean? We would starve, right? And it's funny, Shadow looks at him, he was like, everything that you just said was bullshit. He said, if you play what the people like, they will come,
Right.
right? If
Right.
you play what they like, they will come.
Right.
And it's interesting that we have these two, alphas, right? But they are diametrically opposed in their view. And it's interesting because to me, these are some of the best scenes. And there's a favorite quotes part in the deck, but I got a bunch of them, right? And a lot of them are from their interactions. And specifically when Shadow is complaining about the money to Bleak, and Bleak goes, "Okay, Shadow, what do you got to say?" And Shadow's like, "Well, look, we need to get paid, blah, 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 blah." And, Bleak says to him, "Well, guess what? It's my name on it. That's Bleak, 2 E's, 1K. When you run your own show, you can do it however you wish." And Shadow says, "It'll be one day very soon." And Bleak drops a line that he says, "One of these days, you're gonna no, that's not it. I'm so sorry. Wrong quote. I thought I was prepared." Okay. He says, "Until that magical, mystical, majestical day happens, you do what the hell I say." And I was like, I love that. There were so many quotes in this movie that I just love, man. And I got a few for you. When they're arguing when they're having the rehearsal, and left hand Lacey, who's always late with his French girlfriend, walks in there, and Bill Nunn says, "Do right, left." And I was like, I see what they did there. Okay, all right, that's kind of a double entendre. I thought that was cool. And then Denzel says to him, "Wrong key, left. That's the wrong key. You bringing your girl in here." I just I really like the early Spike Lee was such a magician with
There's a
his
wordsmith.
wordplay.
Right,
Oh my goodness.
She's Got to Have It. She's Got to Have It has some fantastic lines in there too.
The dialogue is outstanding.
Yeah, they absolutely kill it.
It's outstanding, man. But I thought that was fun. So let's get to some scenes, right? So Bleak and Shadow kind of represent chaos and structure, and they were always going to break up because you can only have that but for so long. You're talking about two alpha dogs. They both like Clark. This was, as you say, life be life, and this was destined to happen, right? It was destined to happen. But it's interesting. What I found that was interesting is that underneath all of that back and forth, underneath all of that banner, there was respect and love.
Right. And there was more similarity than there was difference, ultimately.
Yes.
And though this is somebody who is your quote-unquote rival, this will also be the first person to give you a shot.
Yes.
To come back and to forgive Giant and make him a doorman and bring the rest of the band together. And, those things you realize, though you're hot-headed and you're at odds, but you realize that you really have more in common with the people who you're close with and you're upset with than people who are outside of your circle.
Yes.
So, we can fight, but, we'll still be there for each other.
To your point, when he gets into that conflict with the two bullies who are working for the Long Shark, Shadow is the first one out the door. He's the first one to his aid. He's the first one to defend him. And when the owners are like, "We need you guys to get back and play," he's like, "F y'all. No, we're not. My friend is out here with his face busted open."
Right.
And that to me was like, "Why you guys really don't care about them? They are commodities to you." Well, like all of this stuff that Bleak, we love you. Bleak, we're good. Bleak,
no, sure. But when it comes down to it,
yes. The minute you can't play, and it was. I mean, we can't get into it, but you know where I'm going. It was
And the thing is that, but you know what? But that can be, and I think the universality of it I really liked, because you know what? You can be an accountant and have that same thing. You can
Yep.
be a air traffic controller and have that same thing.
Yep.
When you can't do what you need to do and you fall out, they'll have somebody in your chair the next 5 minutes.
Yes.
And that's just,
That's
just
life.
the way that it is.
That's
Like
life.
one thing that hit me that I didn't get in this vein was the name of the club, Beneath the Underdog.
Beneath the Underdog, yeah.
I was like, wow, I did not pick up on that, but wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, you know what? Honestly, all the names, the bassist was named Bottom Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cold-blooded, man. Bottom Hammer.
And they make a point to introduce it at the beginning, right? Left hand Lacey, the Earl of Drums, Bottom Hammer, Shadow Henderson. Yeah, there was.
I mean, but just some of the names in it, it just was killer.
Yeah,
like we should look up like just the cast list and name the people, because there were some names in there that was, you know, and only we give each other nicknames like that,
right?
That, you know, and that's it's a little part of culture that's added in there that we, you know, get. We went to school with a guy that I didn't know his name wasn't Barbecue for. I thought his name really was Barbecue. I really did.
I cannot believe you said that. I cannot believe you said that. Oh my God! I think his real name is William. So
William. Okay, I
William,
I did not know that.
We meant no disrespect, brother. William, it's all go by. I cannot believe you said that.
It's true story.
I remember him though. That was his.
But we give each other nicknames.
Yeah,
and that becomes your, you know, that becomes
your
name,
you're stuck with it. But you know who else does that? The Brit.
Really?
Oh yes, yes, they do. They give everybody nicknames. My boss is originally from Great Britain, and he was talking about that. We were having a conversation. He was like, "Oh yeah, everybody had a nickname." So you know, that is a cultural.
It's a cultural thing.
That is a cultural thing. So yeah, man. Let's get into some themes and tones, right? So there's definitely art versus life, and you see that in Bleak. You see that specifically when Clark gets up. I believe they were in the bed or whatever, and he gets up and he's practicing. And he comes over to talk to him, and he is ignoring her. And as she talks, we hear her voice fade, fade, fade. And she literally says while she's talking, "Well, I'm your muse." Right? But he's actually in the process of writing a song and creating. And what we see in him is he literally has the ability to turn the switch off and nothing around him matters.
Well,
nothing
allegedly
around him matters.
Allegedly, we've both been married for a while now. I can do that. I'm not a genius. But it just starts to
you know what? I would comment, but I don't know where my wife is, so I'm just gonna shut up and nod my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm with you, brother.
Allegedly.
I'm with you.
Allegedly.
I'm just gonna shut up and nod my head. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm with you.
But it also, I think, to the greater point of the story, it really points to his discipline and his focus.
Yes.
And the focus isn't necessarily on her. The focus is on, you know, my muse is talking to me right now in my head. My muse is this trumpet and the actual music. So you are an ancillary, and that's why I can have two girlfriends, because you're an ancillary part of my life.
Right. You're a background singer. You are a background singer.
Exactly. Right. So I have my life, and if you can't hang, hey, so be it.
Well, what's interesting, and again, sometimes it's not what they say or what they show, it's what they don't show. So when we first meet Clark, she's arriving at Bleak's domicile or his home at 1 p.m. And the first thing he says to her is, "You know I practice. What time is it?" and she says 1 o'clock, and he says, I don't complete this until 2. Why are
Mhm.
you showing up here? But what Spike is showing us is that Clark has no regard for his schedule. She has no regard for, because she does things like she bites his lip when they're
Right,
being intimate, right?
right, right,
She's playful, but she colors outside of the lines,
right.
right? And
She represents a counterpoint to Joie Lee, who is a teacher who
correct.
gets up and has to go to work, who's waiting for him when he's late, who is very much solid and being just an absolute counterpoint to Clark's free spiritedness,
Yep. Yep.
and I'm going to throw something.
She's a puppy. Come
Can you
on.
hear that?
Very little. It's
Okay.
very little. It's not intrusive.
But I think that is more of the point. And she does bite his lip because she's not thinking of the consequences.
Correct.
While Joie Lee's character, what is the character's name? I keep calling her by her name. I know.
Indigo.
Indigo.
Yeah.
She's very planned and prim and proper and willing to go out on a limb to be with a guy who's not necessarily, kind of her lane.
Mhm.
But while Indigo is just out there, working at Tower Records, and she's just that kind of girl. But it also shows the choice that we all have to make. I mean, we've dated, allegedly dated more than one woman, so
That's alleged.
but you have to see what lane is
Gotta
going to
see
best
what
fit
works
your
for
life.
you. Right.
You
What
have to see
works
what works for you.
what
Right.
worked for you. Right. But it's interesting. To your point, I did not see that the first time I saw it, because I'm 18, right?
Mhm.
So at that point, I'm like, that completely went over my head. But going
Mhm.
back and watching this, I'm like, she doesn't respect any of his boundaries. Like, if he tells her 2 o'clock, she's there at 1. She bites
Mhm.
the lip. She does 3 or 4 things, right?
Mhm.
Oh, he asked her, "Hey, have you been singing and practicing?" And she's
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I'm ready now." And he's like, in his mind, because he's dedicated so many years to this,
Mhm.
no, you're not just going to take a couple of classes and be ready.
Right.
And it's interesting because I read a couple of reviews, right? I try to prepare.
Mhm.
And one of the reviews, they kind of suggest that she's using him. I
Mhm.
did not get that. And maybe a little,
Mhm.
but I got that she was in love with him.
Well, and I
I
also felt like you could have a different kind of relationship.
That's
You can
yes,
have a different,
yes,
and that was the way that your relationship is with this person.
yes,
You have to find what's best for you.
yes,
And, being one of the, and that was I think that was the vehicle that he was using to say that we all have to go through these stages.
yeah,
And stages where I'm dating the free spirit. I'm dating the teacher. Like what's going to work best for me.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
And I think we've known each other so long. We've experienced both.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can I can think
Allegedly.
of I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. But yes, allegedly, I'm gonna leave
Allegedly.
it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, very fair. So we got art versus life. We got brotherhood and loyalty. We got redemption through loss. We got jazz as a mirror of personal freedom. But we have to acknowledge that obsession is a big part of this movie. It is a
Right.
theme in this movie. Giant is obsessed with gambling. He cannot turn it away. Um, Bleak is obviously obsessed with music and control. Shadow is obsessed with being number one. He's
Mm-hmm.
got to be the number one dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. So yeah, the obsession is a big part of it. Is there anything, because again, you work in this industry, so
Mm-hmm.
there are probably things that you saw that I didn't. Is there anything that we missed regarding the themes or maybe the tone that you can think of, or something maybe that kind of jumped out to you?
Well, I also think that the universality of the story is what jumped out to me. The
Okay.
fact that these are stages that we go through as men and start off as boys and playing and enjoying yourself and finding what's important to you and what drives you and what motivates you and what is important enough to you to be obsessed by.
Okay.
And is it work? Is it charity? What is it? What is your story? But we're all on a similar path. What we think is the most important thing. By the time you're 35, 40, it's no longer the most important thing. You're not there anymore. You're not in the same boat. And I think that is what stuck out to me the most this most recent time watching it.
Okay. You're such an eloquent speaker. You're such an eloquent. Oh my God! Talk about illustrating a point. You're such an eloquent speaker.
Oh,
Kip.
thank you.
And it's funny as we're doing this, I'm remembering conversations that we had and quotes that you made that made me laugh. And I'm going to share one of them with the audience. We were talking about a friend of ours. And he had this car that he was a mechanic or is a mechanic. And let's just say this car was just not in the best of shape. Okay. And
I think I know the story.
But I don't know if you remember the quote. You said, so he arrived in this car that was held together by nothing but spit and love. You remember that? You remember that?
Right.
Oh my God. That was great. That was great. That was great.
But that was about right.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. So to the audience, for those of you who don't know, my friend, he's a great storyteller. You're not going to experience that here because there's certain things we can't say, but an elite storyteller. But anyway, we got to go on. So let's juxtapose this to other jazz stories. Specifically one about Bird and Round Midnight, which, according to this was a more softer story. It was a more human story where the characters in Bird and Round Midnight were, I would say, more rigid, right? Do the Right Thing. And again, this is early Spike Lee, but to me, this was a gem because when I first saw it, I'm not going to say I didn't like it, but I was like, okay, ho hum, it's a Spike Lee movie. Going back and watching this years later, I have such an appreciation for it. Now, is it Do the Right Thing? No, I think Do the Right Thing is one of his best movies. We went to School Days. Remember me, you, it was like what, 7 or 8 of us?
Yeah.
We all went to see Do the Right
School Days.
School Days. But to me, this is one of his best early works. Give me your thoughts on that. Just and we don't have to necessarily juxtapose Bird and Midnight, but just juxtaposing this to Do the Right Thing, to School Days, to She's Gotta Have It, to Jungle Fever. Where does this land in the landscape of all of those films for you?
I feel like this is probably one of the most personal movies. I think that he's really telling the story of himself and his obsession and the things that he's had to give up to be where he is. And I think that it's vaguely autobiographical, and I think it's a very personal story. Almost as much as Crooklyn is, which I think was also built from bits and pieces of his actual life. So I think the cool thing about this movie is that it's a real vision into the filmmaker, you know,
and how he got to
right. And other movies are meant for different things. Other movies make different points, and She's Gotta Have It is about sexual freedom and the openness and the first time slut shaming. You know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of thing. The feminism, and I think that a lot of his other movies are kind of spotlights. Highest to Lowest, I think, is a fantastic movie.
I have still not seen that. Now, what? If you want, we can come back and do Highest to Lowest.
I really dug Highest to Lowest. I think that
Well, then we got to do that.
it really showed a very kind of a modern take. I mean, it's based on another movie. It's based on like a Japanese gangster movie.
I did not know that.
So there are choices that are made in there that fit with this other movie that, I honestly would like to get your take on it.
Okay.
Because if you didn't know that it was made from another movie, you would say, well, why is it doing this? How do we jump here? How do we jump there? But it works. It works really well.
Okay.
So,
Now, would you say is it critical that I watch this other movie before watching this, or do I?
no,
Okay.
it stands by itself. It's good. And I think
Okay.
is it ASAP Rocky who's in it?
Yes, and Denzel.
ASAP, knowing who he is and knowing kind of he's a thinking guy and he can turn it on when he wants to and turn this persona on. It's really amazing to watch him play this dumbass, basically.
Okay, well, I'm intrigued now. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Have you seen the show? I think it was on Netflix that they made out of She's Gotta Have It, the series.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Well, I want to know what you thought first.
I love the movie so much. It was tough to watch, somebody mess with the property. It didn't hit the same way for me.
It didn't land.
You know why?
Do you think
Because
they tried to
time had
modernize
passed.
it?
Well, right, because time had passed and sexual politics had changed. Just like sexual politics have changed now. You couldn't do the same thing that you did even in this movie now, because things are just different now.
Yeah.
Because basically, Bleak breaks into Indigo's apartment and basically stays until she says yes. You can't do that now. That's called something. You can't.
You can't stalk people or break and enter.
Exactly.
You can't do that. No.
You called that a love story.
Oh,
now
wow.
that'll get you a charge.
Oh, wow. What's that? Kind of like Pepe Le Pew. Who was that? Dave Chappelle that was like, oh, wow, Pepe Le Pew. Who knew? He's kind of a.
Well,
I'm not going to crack the joke. But
wait a minute. But then going back and like looking at things with adult eyes and that stuff and the jokes that you didn't get because Frenchmen don't put the deodorant. That's why he's Pepe Le Pew. I was like, y'all ain't right.
Oh, wow.
How Pepe Le Pew?
Oh, wow.
Y'all ain't right.
Oh, wow.
But it was like one of those things that we didn't know. We didn't know that apparently Frenchmen, offend. But that was one of the jokes, and they were cold with it back then.
Yeah, they were. His persistence, right? Is like today would be bordering on harassment, right? So it's kind of interesting looking at some of these caricatures that kids watched, right?
Right.
And I think it brings home the fact that everything changes, nothing stays the same, but yet it all stays the same because it's constantly changing. It like the modality of behavior changes. So what's cool today, 10 years from now,
is
what
Cosby.
I mean? Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. To put
just because that's what that was what was going on back then. That was that was what was happening, and now it's not cool.
Dude, that breaks my heart, man. Just to think about everything that Bill Cosby did. Like I went back and watched this footage of him talking to these kids in school, and they probably were about our age. And he's telling them of what it is to be African American and things they're gonna have to know. And he did so much for our culture, but that is life. That a lot of and that's why they tell you don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes. Because oftentimes they do not measure up to who you think they are.
Well, and the thing is, do you think it was just him?
Oh no, I don't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, somebody knew his secret and exposed it, but there's probably a lot worse on some people
and a lot more. I mean, think about I Spy and like the barriers that he broke and the people that he brought in, and a huge fan. But the world is different now.
It's like Dave Chappelle Dave Chappelle says he rapes, but he saves. But he probably did rape. So I'm not making light of it. It was Dave Chappelle. I'm not making light of it. I'm not making light of it. So if somebody, I don't want to offend anybody watching, but again, the point is that he gave over here and took over here, but he gave a whole lot over here. And it's just I was so hurt when that came out. I was so disappointed. But anyway.
So one other thing that, speaking of like modernizing something, shout out to legalized sports betting, because it would be, the movie wouldn't have been the same. It'd have been a whole different movie. So,
bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what? We'll talk about that. We don't even have the time, bro. We'll talk about that another time. So favorite scenes, and I have some favorite scenes on here, but I probably there's so many more favorite scenes that I have. One of them obviously is the Mo Better duet. When they do Mo Better and when they do the parody on love songs, that was funny. That was truly funny. I just thought that was great. Kip, give me 1 sec. I think I locked the door because my niece is here. My wife's here. Give me 1 sec. I will be right back. Give me a sec. Who is it?
While I have you here, nothing to say.
Sorry about that, Kip.
No worries.
You there?
Yep.
Not that I left you all alone on a podcast when it's
we were having a conversation.
Not that I did that.
we were having a conversation with the people.
Yeah. What are you looking for, Maya?
Plates.
Huh?
Plates.
Oh, is right? Okay. Maya, I want you to come say hello to somebody.
I'm not about to be.
Maya,
on
you
the
look
podcast.
beautiful. No. It's my best friend, Kip.
I don't want to be on the podcast.
Really?
Hi, Mr. Kip.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I wish I could see your pretty face.
Yeah, and it really is beautiful. Just come on and say hi. It's just him and 2 other people. That's it. Nobody else is gonna.
In the whole internet.
Exactly.
Just say hi, Maya. Nobody's gonna see you. Come on. Just real quick. Just pop in. He can't even see you on the camera, Maya.
Well, I'll just wait for you to sit down and I'll pop over there.
Okay. My daughter's getting paper plates because I hoard them. Would you say I'm a hoarder? I hoard them up here. All right.
Maya, the stories I could tell you.
You got. Oh wow. You got to pop in and say hello. Still can't see.
Oh, hello. How are you? Thank you for showing your face.
You're welcome.
Now, hey, she did that for you, buddy, because 9 times out of 10, if I ask her, no, Dad, oh my God, you're such a weirdo. Oh, Dad, why?
Yeah. No, I know it well.
You know the drill?
I know.
You know the drill?
I know it
well.
well.
So, favorite scene, Kip.
I got it. I got mine.
There were so many. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
The fight where he's getting the names wrong and he's spinning and he's starts off trying to explain himself and to apologize, et cetera, but he realizes that the torrent of both of them spinning and changing and almost arguing together with him just beats him down until he kind of sinks back and
the bedroom scene where he calls him by the wrong name.
Right. And
he's looking over here and looking over there.
The spin of it, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the way that it's cut and the blue and the rage in their faces and the way that it's lit. It's really just really well done. And he's really great at it because he shows that he's really trying and trying to stop the bleeding and until he's just like,
the hell with it.
All right.
And he looks at the camera almost kind of like, what do you want me to do? That was funny. That was like the funniest part of that is when she's like, I can't believe you said that. And don't tell me it's a D-I-C-K thing.
Right.
And don't tell me it's a D-I-K-C thing. And then it looks and he's like, what do you want me to do here?
What
Right?
do we do? Right?
Oh my God. That was
I
great.
mean,
Just the way that they shot
that would hit me deep because it's like, allegedly.
I knew it. I knew it. Well, look if you do that long enough, it
could happen.
Unless allegedly you have techniques to where you don't call any names. That's the only way you can avoid that. If you just call everybody baby, 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 and allegedly,
sounds like a technique.
But I knew guys who did that allegedly.
Did you?
Allegedly,
did you?
I knew.
You knew guys.
I knew guys.
Okay.
Not me. I knew guys. Allegedly. I knew guys who did that. But I'm just saying, right? If you do that, then you never have to worry about it because you don't call names, right? But he got comfortable and slipped up, and man, woo!
It's a tough one to come back from.
I don't see how you come back. Like that's tough. You know what?
It's tough to come back from.
The only thing he could have done is at that point he probably would have had to have made a choice,
right?
And he didn't want to do that, so he was like, "Hey, either you can hang or you." I don't know any other way to come back from that. Like, honestly, I don't. I just think at that point, dude, you're done. But that was a great scene.
The relationship that he chose, that he always had to come back to, was music.
Yeah.
So he was okay letting it go
until he couldn't. Right.
And there allegedly, there go us all.
Yeah.
you have it until you don't.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. So I like that scene. I like the scene where Left and his girlfriend are late because they get into some geopolitical stuff that we can't talk about, but it is hilarious. It is. But
it's also, doesn't it seem like the whole thing was ad-libbed?
Absolutely.
Like a lot of it, like I think Denzel had to say what he had to say to get the scene moving, but the banter back and forth was definitely ad-libbed.
It definitely, but it was funny. It was, and again, none of it we can say, but it was to me, that was gold. That was one of, and you know what? Oftentimes, that's what happens when you especially when you got a star-studded cast like that. When you let them just go, you're gonna get gold. But
you're gonna get better than anything you could have written.
That was, and again, one of my favorite quotes. She went to the Sorbonne, and he was like, "You can get that on Fifth Street." That was great. That was a great line.
Okay, my next favorite scene, and it was such a little scene, and when I saw it, I don't think that I had given it the wink and the nod that it deserved. When Giant's walking up to the club for the first time, and he almost gets hit by a cab, and he goes, "I'm walking here.
Like, what are you doing?"
Like, well, okay, well, nice
that's
nod
New York.
to the classics.
That's New York.
Yeah,
that's New York. And then the argument that he has with the 5%er, right? And the whole dialogue that's going on there, and then
and Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy. I forgot Charlie Murphy was in there. And you know what? Charlie Murphy has one of my favorite quotes where he says, let me get organized here. And I say I was organized until I started this. And then I realized I'm not organized. But he said, you don't, what did he say? He said, I gotta find it. Jeez, man.
He told him to kiss the crack of his butt. And he said, you don't have a butt.
Right, you don't have one, right? Hold on. I cannot find it. That's not it. Gee, what the hell did I do with it? He says you just got two legs growing out of your chest, and I'm butchering it.
Out of your shoulder blades.
It was fun. No, he says you just got two legs sticking out of your shoulders. That's what was funny.
Right.
That's what was funny because you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. But it was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
So.
Let me see some other ones. When he tells them, and it was a bit of foreshadowing, when he says one of these days, because Giant says, well, you've kept me out of so many ass whoopings, and Bleak says to him, one of these days you're gonna have to take that ass whooping because I'm not gonna be around, which was in fact
foreshadowing. Yeah.
but he actually was around and it ended his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Spike is saying is there's some folks you just got to cut off.
Well, I think he's also saying that, friendship is friendship. It's like
Yeah.
you dive into that abyss, knowing, I don't know these guys. I'm going to jump in there because this is my friend.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the same, treatment that he's getting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's the real meaning of friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's deep, man, because he really did, and in some ways it served him well
Mm-hmm.
because it forced him to make a choice. But in other ways, when he is
But
to
hey, man,
himself,
that's life, baby.
he's got to regret it. He's
You
got to
make
be
you
sitting
make
down
you,
thinking
you
about
make
it.
those decisions. You make those. You let Indigo walk out, and that was a mistake. You don't know that was a mistake till you made it.
That's true. That's true.
And
That's
so
true.
you do the best you can.
Well, and I guess what I'm looking at is I wonder, you know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
sequel, newsflash, the sequel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he ever sits down to himself and thinks, if it wasn't for that fight,
Mm-hmm.
X, Y, and Z. Like, what if is a dangerous question.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What if it's broken up a lot of homes?
Mm-hmm.
What if it is dangerous? And so I'm just
Well,
saying,
but we also all have those moments that if it wasn't for this,
right,
I would never have made that left and
right,
never have seen this and never
right,
have gone,
right.
and who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's part of where you make the best decisions you can make at the time.
That's true. That's true.
And that's the universality of this movie because it's something
of,
that we all go through.
Go through, yeah. Speaking of universality, the scene, the porch scene, where Bleak is teaching his son, I think the entire lesson or the entire movie was just kind of summed up in him saying, you know what, let the boy go out and have some fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because his mom didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And because his mom didn't do that, he developed that rigid obsession and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't want that for his son.
Mm-hmm.
So in that particular scene,
Mm-hmm.
I think he very much learned the lesson.
Right. Well, and that is, that I think that's what I got most from the movie is the full circle, circle of him now with the mustache. Now he's the dad.
Well, because of the cut, right?
Well, but also when nobody else had a mustache until the dad had a mustache in the first scene. So now he's the dad. He's almost in the same.
He's got the mustache. You know what? I didn't think about that, but you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
But that's how you've grown.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, allegedly. Let's look at some little known facts about this, right? So I'm gonna do that. Terrence Blanchard performed all of the trumpet parts, and that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This was Robin Harris's final film. Rest in peace, Robin Harris. He was so funny. That's the thing about going back and watching this, but he was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he was beloved. Like you could see it on all the cast members' faces.
Well, you can also see the realness, and you kind of get some of the grittiness of his comedy.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
kind of what made it real because he was like listening to an uncle at a party. Because you have uncles that can make you laugh just as much, just from their life experience, and they're funny and they're naturally so. He was just one of those guys.
Especially when it was like, yeah, I like ugly women. Yeah, I'm talking to you like, whoa, oh man, like, okay, yeah, that dude had no fear.
Right.
It was filmed in Brooklyn and Harlem. The soundtrack was by the Branford Marsalis Quartet. It did 16.15 million at the box office, a modest hit. I don't know what it cost to make it. Probably 3-4 million. You know what I mean? I don't know that there were many elaborate action scenes.
And it also wasn't a time that, everybody, this is before Black Panther, before Sinners.
Yeah.
Not everybody was going to go see this movie regardless of what it was about.
Right. Correct.
It was a very different time.
Correct. It was dedicated to Robin Harris. Giancarlo Esposito and Bill Nunn cameo, and they're in a lot of Spike Lee films.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Continued the Lee Blanchard collaboration, and it premiered in 1990. But just a wonderful film, man. Truly enjoyed it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 72%. Metacritic 61%. It is a soulful, romantic Spike Lee joint, part of his transition from political cinema to introspective art. Let me ask you this question. If we juxtapose this up against Love Jones, give me your thoughts on that. Give me your thoughts on the comparisons. And
well, I think the difference between Love Jones and this is a wider arc. This is years and years of life and love and passion and whatever. Love Jones is kind of a very small window, and I think that when you watch Love Jones again, I don't know that it stands up.
See, I did watch it, and it's one of my favorite movies.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think that I romanticized it so much.
Wow.
So many good moments that I loved at the time, and going back and watching it, there's some questionable performances.
So let's do this, right? Because I've done a podcast on Love Jones. But for you, my friend, I will do it again because I'm very interested. Now you've piqued my interest. I want to hear what you got to say. So I
think that technically, like filmography, like cinematography, all those things, the artistry, the acting was far superior to Love Jones, which was a great movie, but didn't have some of those things. Now, that is offset very much by Nia Long, so we can put some of that in perspective. But it came out at a great time in life, and it meant a lot to me and a lot of people. I'm wearing a Sade shirt right now.
Yeah, we were 27. Well, I was 27. You were 26, right? It came out in 1997. So yeah.
1990s, so, yeah. It was a great time in life.
Great time in life.
But this is a masterful movie.
Okay.
It's not the same thing. You can enjoy them both. I love Love Jones. I think I have.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Love Jones poster, but I don't think you can compare it to this. Just because it was some rough acting turns. So
we're gonna have to go back and revisit that, bro.
And that's just being honest,
No, I don't want you. I want you to be honest. I definitely do.
I wouldn't, in mixed company, I would not speak ill of Love. But to you, I'll be honest.
In the internet, the interweb,
I'm saying it's just us.
Right.
But I wouldn't say. But how can you not love Love Jones? How can you not love Claudine? How can you not love some of these? Some of these movies that at the exact time touched us in a way.
Claudine was Billy D. Williams and Diane.
Claudine was a young, handsome James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll.
It was James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. You're right about that.
Billy D.
Billy D. was Lady Sings the Blues, handsome. Right? Yeah, he was.
But not like an older or whatever. He was young. And
strong. He wasn't Darth Vader at that point.
Looked like Jack Johnson. Like
he was him.
He was a big dude. Yep.
What do young folks say? He was him. He was him at that point. He was him.
He was Himothy.
He was Himothy.com, damn it.
I can't. He was 6'7". I don't understand. What are y'all saying? I have interns now that ask me questions and worry me to death about this stuff.
Stop complaining, dude. You're 6'3", 6'4". I'm 5'9".
No. 6'7" is a thing. No. 6'7" is a description. That means good.
I know, but I'm saying you're 6'3", 6'4". You're not far off.
No, I don't think it means it's not a measurement. If something is 6'7", then it's good. It's like, oh, that's 6'7". Like
6'7".
It's not 6. See, how old are you? Ask your daughter, Maya.
I have no idea what 6'7" means. means.
That's what I'm saying. That's how old you are. So that's what I'm saying.
So obviously you can't tell me what it is. So you have to tell me offline.
It apparently means good.
6, 7 means good. Do we
Yes.
know the correlation? Do we know the origin of it?
No. Do I know the origin of it? No. I just heard it, last month. I was like, what is some allegedly young lady told me when I was out, I can't, she was like, oh, it's like, oh, you got all the Riz. I was like, okay, thank you. I think it seemed like a compliment.
You look like your mom when you did that, buddy.
Oh,
Dude, it's so funny.
There's nobody funnier than my mother.
No,
my mother
you
had
look
me
like
last
your mom
weekend,
when you did that, dude. You really
tears coming out of my eyes talking about somebody. I can't even say who she's talking about. But she was going in.
She was going. Now I know what that means. I do know what that means.
Yeah. What you know? What? Where were some young people? It's interesting.
I mean, I hang with my daughter, and I know what Himothy means, but I've never heard 6, 7. So now I got homework. I got to go and find out what that means.
I got my boss saying Heliante.
I've heard of that.
He said, "What the hell?"
I've heard of what the hell as well. You're on a roll. I've heard of that. I never heard of 6, 7 though. I have no idea what 6, 7 is.
It's a thing.
So we don't have to do quotes. We've done enough. What worked for this movie? Denzel's subtle performance, and by the way, that's his Pocatino, or what'd you call it? Your cocktail. It's his podcast cocktail, so it's his cocktail. It's cocktail. There you go. And that big ass wooden cup, like you're drinking German beer. What's the origin story of that cup, buddy?
I think it was a Father's Day present. It's stainless steel.
It's metal. Okay, that's kind of cool. That is really cool.
Initials on it.
It's got your initials on it. That is really cool. All right. Well, now since you showed the initials, I got to tell him your name. So, guys, his name is really Leonidas, like the king in 300, but we've always called him Kip. Now, he has a new nickname, and it's Kip with 1 P. And he knows why.
Just so you know, just to be clear, and I said it automatically because I'm used to talking to people who don't know me, who haven't known me for 40
It's Kip
years.
with 1 P.
Right.
It's Kip with 1 P. So
that's right.
I'm sending him the email to set up the show, and he's like, "It's Kip with 1 P." Like I didn't know this dude his entire life. That's what was funny.
I say it just absolutely unconsciously. And I was like,
funny.
Yeah, I guess I didn't need to say that, did I?
No, you didn't. No, not to me. Not to me. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Leonidas was hard to explain before the 300, so I'm so glad that movie came out.
Yeah, it was.
Before then, it was a little tough to explain.
It probably was. It probably made your life a whole lot easier. So, Denzel's subtle performance, rich color, and jazz synergy worked well. What didn't work were some of the stereotypes, and I'm going to leave that right there. We're not going to get into it, but
it was a different time.
It was a different time.
It was a different time.
And
some stuff was okay.
Right. It's like looking back at Archie Bunker, right? You could never get away with that stuff nowadays.
Right.
But Archie was funny. Okay.
Archie was real. There were a lot of Archie Bunkers. There were a lot of Archie Bunkers out there, and there are a lot of Archie Bunkers out there. So you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but Archie was funny. So at the end of each of these, we give it a rating, right? So we got to continue this tradition. If you were to rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving it?
For sentimental value, for artistry, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think
but I'm also very hard on movies. So
well, I'm not very hard on movies because I don't do what you like. So for you guys out there in the audience, Kip is an actual producer and he's done movies, and he's done shows, and he's done a lot of shows. It's his business, so I'm not going to put it out there, but he's done some shows that you guys have seen and know well. So that's where he's coming from. Now, as for me, I'm just a podcaster. The hell do I know? But I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well.
Okay.
What resonated with me was definitely the chemistry between Denzel and Spike, Denzel and Cinda Williams, Denzel and Joie Lee. I really liked how that group. First of all, you had some dynamic actors. Like you got some Hall of Fame actors. You got Samuel L. You got Giancarlo Esposito, who is a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal actor. You got Wesley Snipes. You have some great, and this was like 90s Wesley. This was before everything that happened or whatever. Like you got some really good performances. And on the strength of that, yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I thought it was great. Really,
I thought it was fantastic. It holds up, and the artistry holds up. The shots, the colors, the way things are planned, the acting is really, really superb. There's so many good things about this movie that it's just high up there. It's well done.
All right, cool.
I dig it. I mean,
So,
of course.
I'm gonna give you your choice now. Now again, in saying this, you and I had a lot of conversations. Certain movies we can't do. But in the category of movies that we can do, what's the next one you want to do?
Predestination.
What the hell is that?
Find out next week, people. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Well, you got to give us a little taste.
That's how you do that. That's how you do that, right? That's where we should end it right there.
He's teaching me, guys. But no, give the audience a little taste. So, what is the movie about?
That would ruin it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't read anything about it.
Okay.
Don't read anything about it. Get somewhere comfortable, concentrate, and watch it.
All right.
Predestination, starring Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke basically could be anybody in any movie, but you could replace Ethan Hawke in whatever movie he's in with anybody. But probably his best movie. I mean, there's Boyhood, which,
Predestination.
Okay. Predestination is our next movie. Going outside of you put it on me.
I did put it on you.
You thought I was going to say Shaft. You thought
I thought you were going to say anything other than Predestination. But you know what? I'm going to trust you. So we'll do Predestination.
It's science fiction.
It's
about time travel.
Okay.
And saving the end of the world.
Well, that I can do.
Okay.
Predestination. What year did it come out?
I have no idea. Let me do it quick. I mean, I wasn't. I hadn't planned to. You asked me off the cuff.
I am kind of. Yeah, I put you on the spot there a little bit. I am.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
So you should be able to just pull the trailer. 2014. It's a modern movie.
Yeah, well, it's modern to us.
Yeah,
it's modern to us. To the young.
But I picked this movie not as a test, but I want to see what you think of it.
Oh boy, now I'm a little nervous.
No, okay, whatever. You're gonna think what you think.
Okay, all right, that's
I'm
fair.
looking forward to rewatching it myself.
Predestination.
It's not a horror movie. It's not scary. I don't do horror movies. I don't like that.
I don't do it either because everything nowadays is about the devil, and I don't mess with him, and he doesn't mess with me, so we're good.
My thing is like Saw and that kind of stuff. Like I just don't want it in my head.
That's just gore. That's gore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just gratuitous violence for the sake of violence, right?
I love Sinners, but
I thought Sinners was great.
I thought Sinners was more of an action movie than a horror movie.
It was kind of both. Let's
take this offline.
But we can do it again. We can do it again. It's fine. We can do it again. All right.
Predestination. See there?
Predestination
with something.
Winter. So all right. I think I got a podcast next Friday.
Next Friday, I will be in St. Lucia.
Okay, so then we gotta what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
something
maybe?
like that. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so
we can do this.
we'll put it out there when we put it out there.
Okay.
This was so much fun, man. I don't know if you want to let the audience know where they can find you. If you
No,
don't, that's
I
fine.
don't.
He said no. He said no. I don't. No, I
No,
don't.
I don't.
This
I'm okay.
this was good enough,
This
people.
is for you. This is for you.
All you get.
Yeah.
This is all you get. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, hey, look it. Everyone watching, thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate you. We thank you for showing up. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend this time with us, and we are most assuredly appreciative. You can catch me at the 4myatlsports1 on YouTube and 4myaTL movies on YouTube. And hey, we'll come back tomorrow and we will be doing a sports podcast on Bills and Falcons. It'll be a recording with two buddies of mine who are Bills fans. So that'll probably be released tomorrow around 10 p.m. But again, thank God, Brother Kip, I cannot thank you enough. This was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. And to everyone in the audience, thank you. You guys have an amazing day. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies when we run this town. With your host T Will, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. Every frame we capture is the real deal. Talking premieres where the stars align.